Folks, how are we doing? Happy Sunday. Happy NFL Week 5 Sunday. Happy Bills versus Steelers Sunday. It's a good Sunday. There's a lot going on today. It is me, your host, MereKat, joined by your other host, Steve. Steve's battling a little bit of a tummy ache right now, guys, so sympathy in the chat for him, please. We got a great slate of picks for you guys today. Steve, how are we feeling?
I mean, feeling is a whole nother question. I'm feeling pretty gross right now, MereKat. I'm also kind of feeling gross about this NFL slate. I looked at it originally on Thursday. I was like, this is disgusting. And then Broncos Colts kind of set the tone for what the whole rest of the week is going to be. I think we're just in for some gross football today. I was really struggling to find some underdogs I liked, which is usually never the case. I usually love the dogs. And I don't know. I look at these games. I'm like, which games am I going to get excited to watch? But that's regardless of the point, MereKat. 4-1 last week. We had a good week. And you know what? We're here. We can dig through this crap. We can dig through the shit, and we can find you folks some free money winners. And that's what we've got.
Yeah, I said that we got a great board today when I kicked it off to you, and that was the complete opposite of what we had. We were texting about it. This board is vile. This board is disgusting. I hate this board. Making picks with this board was just a generally unpleasant experience overall. I don't love my picks, but we must persevere. We must get them for you guys, and we must shout out our sponsors at BetUS. Listen up, sports bettors. Your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including the NFL, UFC, and MLB, with those playoffs going on. If you're looking for live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds boosters, props, and parlays, they got them. And how about fast payouts with exceptional one-on-one service? They got that too. Log into BetUS.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. BetUS.com, where the game begins. Stevie, I'm just letting you kick it off because it's way easier for me to come out of the addery to just kick it to you. So that's how we're doing it. Kick us off, Stevie.
You're making me start off with my just gross plays. I don't even know if I like any of them, but this first one I'm going to take is one that it's just, I'm riding a trend, MereKat. Sometimes you have to just ride trends. And I'm taking Lions Patriots over 46.5. This is a high number for a Patriots total. You usually don't see it this high because I don't like taking Patriots overs. But this Lions team, they have shown two things: that they've been fun, they know how to score, and they can't stop anybody. This Lions defense is putrid, allowing an NFL worst 35.3 points per game and 455.5 yards per game. They're playing Big 12 football. I don't know what Dan Campbell's doing, but this is what the Lions are doing, and it's fun. Everyone loves it. It makes for entertaining football. But I'm just going to take the over. The Lions overs dating back to last year, 6-0 in the last 6, and they've been smashing. You haven't even had to sweat these overs. We saw what happened last week with the Seahawks and the Lions. I'm going Lions Patriots over. The Patriots are getting healthy with the wide receiver core. I think Myers will actually be back this week. He'll join Nelson Aguilar and Devontae Parker, and there'll be a trio of weapons for Bailey Zappi, who it looks like he's going to be the starter. With Mac Jones doubtful, Zappi looked pretty good in the Packers game where he had to come in late and kind of get that game to overtime. I think Patriots aren't going to have trouble scoring. And the Lions, I mean, you see how their offense operates. It's next man up. Anyone's going to score. Hockenson had a monster game last week with no St. Brown and no Swift. So I just feel like the Lions are going to plug guys in. They're going to score, and I don't think they're stopping the Patriots. I'll take over 46.5. Ride the trend.
Right it. Yeah, Patriots, we'll get into it later with the Sicko teaser. They're banned from the Sicko teaser because they just keep smashing overs, so I don't hate that. I was tuned out there
right?
first. Yeah, two in a row. They have destroyed the Sicko teaser. The tees, they're scoring points, which is crazy. Tuned out there for a second. Forgot we got London game on right now. Let's go. Had to throw that on. That's how out of it I am this morning. And I'm out of it when I'm giving out a pick like this. We are going with, I think this is my only straight play of the day outside of props. Miami Dolphins -3.5 versus the Jets. I absolutely hate taking the Dolphins to win a game, and especially by 4 points. But it's the Jets. So I'm going to give myself a bit of a pass here. No Tua, obviously, but we do have the human cover himself, Spready Bridgewater, under center. And honestly, he didn't look too bad in replacing with Tua last week, 14-23, 193 with a touchdown and a pick. But really, all he needs to do is deliver the ball to Hill and Waddle and let them do the rest. It doesn't matter if it's behind the line of scrimmage. It doesn't matter if it's 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. Just make those safe passes, get the ball in those guys' hands, and let them work. I'm selling high on the Jets here, and I'm not really sure you can call it a high since they're the Jets, and they barely beat a bad Steelers team last week, dealing with a transition to rookie quarterback mid-game. And Zach Wilson didn't even look good in his return, but we're still selling high on the Jets today because people like them right now. It's kind of gross. The public, we're seeing 40% of the bets on the Jets spread here with just 20% of the handle. That's disgusting. We'd love to be on the opposite side of that. Miami's already 2-0 in the division and has covered their only game as a favorite this season. And the Jets defense isn't good. Despite some decent standout play here and there, they're not good. They're bottom 10 against the pass, and Miami's weapons should be able to eat. Plus, the Jets only have 8 sacks this season, so I'm not worried about Miami's offensive line getting exposed and, Teddy dealing with any issues. I think this is going to just be an easy win for the Miami Dolphins today.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty funny, right, MereKat? Because you said it. The Jets are one of the more popular underdogs. I think another one's the Lions, too. What world are we living in right now where the public likes the Jets and Lions? Like, what is going on? Like, the football isn't real this year. Like, nothing lines up. And you know what also doesn't line up is my second pick right here. And this is a stupid eat the cheese, I don't care type of play. It's Chargers money line against the Browns. It's a 1.5 point spread. It just makes no sense to me. I know the Chargers defense has been bad, but that has mainly been through the air. And the Browns don't like to throw the ball. They run the ball. They run the ball with Nick Chubb. The Chargers' run defense hasn't been great, but it's been better than their pass defense, which has been atrocious. And I'm just going to be with the dumb guy logic here, MereKat. Right, you got Jacoby Brissett versus Justin Herbert. Give me Justin Herbert every day of the week. I think Herbert's getting out there. I think he'll be better. The Chargers' passing attack has seen no problems, and that's kind of where you beat the Browns. You don't really beat them on the ground. You beat them through the air. So I'm just going to trust the better quarterback here and essentially a pick-em. It feels weird. I don't like having a West Coast team traveling east on the road against a team that's going to try to win the trenches like the Browns will do. But you know what? I just have to go with my logic sometimes, and I know Justin Herbert's a much better quarterback than Jacoby Brissett. I think the Chargers have been underwhelming as a team so far, really haven't been great. The Browns have kind of been playing above their head. I think water's going to find its balance, so I'm going to take the Chargers. I hate it.
I don't hate the Chargers, but because I hate my next play so much, and you already know what's going to happen. It's the
Sicko?
Browns +6. It's not sicko yet. This is just surgical. Surgical. Let's cut it open.
There it is.
Woo! I just threw a knife. I don't know where it landed. I might step on it later. I'm blind, folks. It's not good. But we're going with the Browns +6.5 versus the Chargers. Teased with the Commanders +6.5 versus the Titans.
You're going back to them? They burned me every week, too. They burned me every single week.
This is gross. Look, this is disgusting. Seriously, this isn't even a bit. Like, I have no idea how my brain concocted this play, but here we go. I hate this. I'm sorry, but it's not so much me being high on the Browns. It's just me being down on the Chargers right now. I love them. I love Justin Herbert. I've been in on them, but they're not looking like an elite team right now. Justin Herbert's looking elite, but they're not looking like an elite team. And I don't know. In my medical opinion, he still didn't look 100% last week, even though he played pretty well. And the Browns have been just frisky this year. The Browns are a 1-point loss to the Jets and a 3-point loss to the Falcons away from being undefeated with Jacoby Brissett as their quarterback, which just speaks volumes to the rest of the team because they really do have a solid roster all around. And it's not a knock on Brissett either. He's only taken 5 sacks this year, which is kind of wild. The Browns' offensive line's incredible, but he's been mobile enough. He's been smart enough with the ball not to turn it over. He's only turned it over twice through 4 games, taking 5 sacks. That's great. That's what you want to see out of your fill-in quarterback before the guy who deserves to be in hell takes over. Chubb's been the real star, though. I mean, 3 games with 113 plus yards so far this year. He's been absolutely incredible. Hunt's been solid too, 200 through 4 games, and they get to eat against the Chargers defense, allowing 110 yards on the ground a game. 110 yards a game on the ground. I can't speak. And the biggest thing, 5.4 yards per carry. Nick Chubb is going to be gashing this defense today. I think the Browns keep it close. And then the Commanders are more of the gut play than anything, with a sprinkling of I can't stop fading Stevie's Titans.
I haven't even taken them this year. I haven't even been out of this year.
Washington, who ranks 6th in DVOA against the run, has allowed just a single rushing touchdown this year, which is kind of crazy. So I'm not really worried about Tennessee. We're completely relying on Derrick Henry, who did finally get going last week, but it was against the weaker Indy front. So I'd like Derrick Henry to not have a great game again. And now Treylon Burks is hitting the IR. Tannehill is left with Bobby Trees and a bunch of nobodies to throw to, which doesn't inspire much hope in an offense that's scoring. That's hoping in the offense, scoring a lot of points and running it up on Washington, running away with this game through the air. So I trust in Carson Wentz to cover this 6.5 against the Titans secondary that has allowed a league high 10 touchdowns through the air this year.
I mean, I don't hate it, but I told you, MereKat, I am done with the Commanders. I'm staying completely away from that game. They have burned me too many times, and you're going to learn that this Commanders can't be trusted. Yeah, I hate them too. They can't be trusted. My next play is the definition of someone who can't be trusted this year. I'm taking a prop here, MereKat, and I hate it because I don't even know if this guy makes it through halftime the way he's been playing this year. I'm taking Dalvin Cook over 78.5 rushing yards. All right. This is Dalvin Cook, who finds a new injury. It seems like he's dealing with every week. He had the shoulder injury, but guess what? He was not listed on the injury report this week. He practiced fully. Miracles do happen. And the Vikings are in a home game against the Chicago Bears, whose run defense is putrid. Absolutely putrid. The worst run defense in the NFL. They allow 733 yards. That's 183 yards per game. And if you remember last week, I double dipped with this Bears team, and I went with Saquon rushing yards and the Giants to cover. Both hit very easily. I think that was the easiest sweat of the day for me. They were both hitting by halftime. I'm going right back with another running back who I still think is a very good running back, Dalvin Cook. Last 4 games against the Bears, he averaged 99 yards a game and was over 78 yards in all of them. So he can get to this number. He has feasted on the Bears previously. He's still getting a lot of touches. That's the big thing, that even though he hasn't been great, he's getting a lot of touches. 16 carries, 17 carries, and 20 carries in 3 of the 4 games. The only game he didn't have that many carries in was when it was kind of scripted out when they played, I believe, the Eagles earlier this year, and they were down early on. Dalvin Cook's going to get the ball. They want to run the ball with Dalvin Cook, and it's the perfect spot for a get-right spot for Dalvin Cook, who hasn't been good this year, but he's still 13th in the NFL in rushing yards, 279, despite not having a single carry over 20 yards this year. And that's Dalvin Cook's bread and butter, are those big explosive runs. He's had none of that. He's still been running the ball decent. He's still been getting a lot of touches, and now he's actually, and I'm going to say with air quotes, healthy. I expect Dalvin Cook to get 20 touches this week, and I think if he gets 20 touches, he's going to get over 78.5 rushing yards. I'm taking it. I'm just going to continue to fade this god-awful Bears defense, and I don't think the Bears are going to be in a position where the Vikings have to throw. If the Bears want to win this game, it's going to be by a field goal in a low-scoring game. So Dalvin Cook's not going to get scripted out. It's just a matter of stay healthy for 4 quarters and just get that big run that you haven't had all year long. Give me Dalvin Cook over 78.5 rushing yards. You're muted. You're muted. I'm sure you're just praising my pick.
No, see, now I'm pretending to be muted because I'm embarrassed I was muted. We're getting down and dirty today, though. That's a down and dirty pick there. I mean, if he's healthy, he's gonna get that, I think. But
yeah,
that's a big old laugh.
They said he is, so we'll see.
A big old, and they've said he's healthy before too. I think Dalvin Cook is just chronically injured. The dude is. I feel bad for him. They are just rolling him out there like the dude from SpongeBob. I have paper skin and glass bones, pushing him down the staircase week in and week out. But next, we're going with some more tease action. This one I really hate. I really hate because I'm eating some cheese here. I'm eating the cheese, folks. We are going with the Eagles money line versus the Cardinals with the teased over 49.5 plus
That is
102.
cheesy.
I said I can't stop fading the Titans. Well, I really can't stop fading Kyler, Cliff, and the Cardinals. Plus, I love the Eagles, and I love Jalen Hurts. Plus, I really like points, and both of these teams are capable of scoring points, or at least that's what my brain tells me, because they both have mobile quarterbacks, so it makes me think they're capable of scoring a lot of points. So I'm just all over the place with this play, which makes me just love it, obviously. The Eagles are 4-0 and an absolute wagon, if we're being honest, across the board. Between Hurts and the offense loaded with weapons, their secondary is more than solid, and the pass rush is absolutely terrifying. On the other hand, the Cardinals are the definition of mid. They are just mid as hell. I'm going with the money line here because this Eagles D really hasn't dealt with a mobile quarterback this year like Kyler, and I think the Cardinals are going to pull out all the stops. They're 2-2 in the division. It's up for grabs for anybody. They need to win games like this to compete. I don't think they win it by any means, but I think they might keep it a little close. It's also a pretty public play, like I said, with the cheese, which I usually avoid at all costs, but going against my better judgment, I'm riding this green wave with my fellow degenerates. EAGLES, Eagles. Oh, shit. Also, the over because the Eagles have scored at least 24 in every game this year, and the Cardinals have at least 21 in all but one, but we have Hurts and Murray. I mean, on that State Farm Stadium turf, that turf is fast. Baby.
Oh, that's fast. With two running quarterbacks too. Oh, that sounds like an over. I hate this next play because I'm taking a player in a game which I think it's going to be a blowout, and I'm taking the team that's going to get blown out with the player prop. I'm taking Kenny Pickett over 17.5 rushing yards. And I hate this, MereKat. I hate this so much. Obviously, Steelers going into Buffalo. Buffalo had a couple tough weeks the past 2 weeks on the road, right? In Miami, that was a very tough game. In Baltimore, that was a very tough game. Now they play this soft Steelers team. Bills at home. I think the Bills are going to trounce them. I really do. I think Josh Allen in this offense is just going to expose the Steelers defense, which hasn't really been that great since TJ Watt left with an injury. And that means the Steelers are going to have to try to score on the Bills. Well, guess what? When you're down early to an elite offensive team, running is no longer in the cards. And it's not like the Steelers have been able to run the ball this year. Najee Harris has not looked good. They're just not going to be able to run. They're going to be passing all the time. They're probably going to be spread out with their three receivers, Claypool, Johnson, Pickens. You got Freiermuth. And that means Kenny Pickett's going to have a lot of options. But I also think, too, Kenny Pickett's going to be doing a lot of rolling out, throwing on the run, because that is basically what Kenny Pickett did at Pitt. Not the professional team, the college team when he was there. He had over 800 rushing yards at Pitt. He ran for 15 yards last week in just half a game. And the Bills' pass rush is going to make Kenny run. We've seen that the Bills are fine just dropping back in the coverage and just rushing for, and they will get to the quarterback. They're going to make Kenny Pickett move and get out of the pocket. And I think he's going to have a couple scrambles where he's going to run for, a good chunk of yards. And 17.5, I think you only need a few of those to happen for him to hit this number. I think the Bills will be up big early, and it's not like the Steelers are going to bench Kenny. They just benched Mitch. They want to see what they got in Kenny. So if the Bills are up big early, we could see a lot of situations where they're playing a more, deep coverage, don't want to give up big plays, and they're just giving up the middle of the field. And I think Kenny Pickett's going to find a few rushing lanes where he's just going to be able to scramble, get about 10 yards here, 10 yards there. And I think the Bills win big, but I also think we're going to see Kenny Pickett, the Steelers, see what they got in this kid. I think he's going to run a little bit. I'm taking him over 17.5.
I like that because my next play is also a Steelers desperation prop involving Kenny Pickett. This is probably my favorite play of the board. This is the only one I like. I'm actually giving out to you guys. I'm sorry. George Pickens over 41.5 receiving yards this one. Yes, I am still taking my usual Stephon Diggs over on receiving yards. Nothing is wrong with me, I swear. But it's 2-2 on the year, and I might be a homer. So why not fade my team a little bit, not give out the Diggs prop, and fade my team against the number one pass defense in football with a rookie quarterback throwing the ball to an underutilized rookie receiver. What could go wrong here? Pickens, though, is primed for a decent showing against a battered Bills secondary. He has seen his role and snap count increase every week as he's adjusted to the offense, and he's been shackled to that dipshit Matt Canada, which has been hampering him. But now they're finally realizing, hey, this guy is good. He can catch the ball. Let's give it to him. So it's all culminated into, a 6-catch, 102-yard showing in week 4 finally. And that was with Pickett throwing him the ball for the majority of it. Pickett seemed to trust Pickens right off the rip. Obviously, they probably spent a lot of time in the summer working together. I'm not pretending. I kept up with Steelers training camp. And now I'm sensing that pick connection is a thing we might see unfold this year. Pickett will have his fair share of issues, but I trust in him to just get the ball enough to Pickens, a guy he trusts to go over this very, very low line against a Bill secondary that's dealing with some issues.
Yeah, why not? I mean, why not? The big thing with Pickens too. Once Kenny Pickett entered the game last week, 33% target share. That is something you don't really see. That's a big jump. And that's the biggest one for me. Where I'm fine with it. MereKat, are you ready? We got through 4 gross plays, and now it's the grossest play of them all. It's Stevie's bias play of the week. Stevie's bias play of the week. 3-1 record on the year. 3-1 record on the year. Stevie's bias play of the week. Last week we had our first loss of the year. Poor Garrett Wilson couldn't get 3 more yards, but it's okay. Tough. I'm going as bias comes. As bias comes. I'm taking Cooper Kupp over 93.5 receiving yards. I'm not trusting this Rams team to win. Absolutely not. I will not lay points with this Rams team. They deserve nothing. They deserve to be a favorite in nothing. But Cooper Kupp has been the lone bright spot in what has been a disastrous first start to the season for the Rams so far. Cooper Kupp, it's just one of those just close your eyes and just take it because it hits. 93.5 receiving yards. MereKat, dating back to last year, Cooper Kupp has gone over 93 receiving yards. 93 in 18 of 21 games. 18 of 21 games. And then there was one game he had 92, and I didn't even include it because I could say gone over 92 and 19, but that's not the prop. The prop's 93.5, so he has to go over 93. 18 of 21. That is absurd. He has 54 targets on the year, 42 receptions, and Matthew Stafford clearly thinks he's the only guy on this offense. Cooper Kupp's gone over 100 yards 3 times already this season. I love that graphic. You have to have a tiny sliver that says Tyler Higbee for like 2 yards, and that's the perfect graphic right there of Stafford's decision making this year. I'm taking Cooper Kupp, and they're facing the Cowboys, who have Trayvon Diggs, who Diggs is going to try to bait Stafford in the picks because Stafford throws picks. Well, if you start baiting Cooper Kupp, who's the best route runner in the NFL, he's going to get open. He's going to burn you. I expect Cooper Kupp to get well over this number. I think he's going to be in 100, 120 plus yards. I think the Rams probably could lose this game because I haven't seen anything out of them to give me a sign that they're going to win. But you know what? Regardless if they win or lose, they're throwing the ball to Cooper Kupp. Expect 15-plus targets, and if he gets 15-plus targets, he's getting 100 yards. So I'm just going to take it over 93.5. It's Stevie's bias play of the week, and I have not given out a Rams prop for Stevie's bias play of the week yet. So here's the first one. Cooper Kupp. He's been treating me well for like his whole career, so continue to do it, man.
Tough. We hate to see Stevie going back to the bias. Well, obviously, Cooper Kupp.
3-1.
He's nearly an auto. He's nearly an auto cash on his over. It's just ridiculous. But I'm gonna close this out with some real sick shit. This is the grossest play on the board. We are going to the sicko teaser, which has been fucking me this year, and I do blame it on the New England Patriots. So, official declaration: the Patriots are banned from the sicko teaser from this point moving forward, and we're reversing things. The sicko teaser has never treated me wrong before until this year. I'm not doing it. Where we got to switch things up. We're pulling a 180. We're going with 2 overs this week instead of 2 unders, as is tradition. And also, as is tradition, we're going to fade the public pretty heavily here. We're seeing the Seahawks Saints over have about half the bets on it, but over 80% of the handles there. We love that sharp money. And the Texans Jaguars is 60-70, which isn't crazy, but it's still a little bit of a lean there. I've been watching both of these teams too this year because I love them both, the Texans and the Jaguars, and I believe in Mills and Lawrence to give us a bit of a show in this one. The Texans love to score second half points. The Jaguars love to score first half points. We got a little recipe for maybe a potential shootout between the two. I'm okay with that. And then let's be real. My guy, Andy Dalton, Geno Smith, America's quarterback, Mills Mafia, and Trevor Lawrence. How can you not invest your hard-earned money in these guys to score a lot of points? It's like a free investment. It's like GameStop stocks during the pandemic. Throw your money at this. They're going to score, guys. This is a premier lineup of quarterbacks. I don't know. We just need something sick to bring the sicko teaser back from the depths, so we're rolling with this one. The Seahawks Saints over 39.5, Texans Jaguars over 39.5, even money. Take it.
Man, Seahawks Saints over is another pinch your nose play. You weren't kidding about these plays aren't gross. These plays are so gross.
I'm losing my mind, man.
Maybe that's why you got to take them, right? Maybe they're so gross you have to take them because I told you
the sickness.
I hated my plays, and now I hear your plays. I don't love your plays either. So I think we might be okay this week.
We're okay with how gross this is. We have to embrace the grossness of the board and the shit. But that'll wrap it up for us today, everybody. We got week 5 of the NFL. I'm so hyped for it. And I want to shout out our sponsor one more time, BetUS.com. Sports bettors, your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action, live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds boosters, props and parlays, fast payouts, and exceptional one-on-one service. They got it all. What more could you ask for? Log into BetUS.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BetUS. BetUS.com, where the game begins. Stevie? Let's ride.
Yeah, let's ride. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everybody. We'll see you guys next week, and hopefully we got some positive records coming out of this week.
I don't know if I can get a 4-1 again, but we'll see.
Will see. All right.